All right, Janny, you are unmuted and we're recording and we're ready for you.
Beautiful. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of our summer sprint. We are so excited for you guys to hear today what we have to offer to you. So many amazing things happening in our company and such an exciting time to be part of Isogenics. I can't even believe that we have so many amazing things coming up this summer for all of June and for all of July. We're going to talk to you actually later on today. Jessica Rigner is going to talk about June Boom. And Lauren Sims was just at an awesome Super Saturday in San Francisco, and she heard from Jason Liu, an incredible piece on closing. So we're really excited for you guys to be able to just hear from these two gals today and just everything that they learned actually Jess over the week and then Lauren over the weekend. So Lauren, do you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about Super Saturday, or Jess, are you going to start?
Jess is going to go in, but I have to just say one thing, you guys, and I know I posted it, but it's such a big deal. Jessica already has her secure room. Like, she's got her 10 enrollments. And mark my words when I tell you she's going to get another under Doug's account. She's going to get 14, what'd you do? 14 enrollments? I don't know what you're saying. A lot. And then she's going to build Doug's, and then she's going to get more than one room because that's just how she is. So, Jess, I'm going to shut up for a while and let you get us fired up because I want to enroll 10 people now that I talked to you.
You know how we don't make claims, guys? I believe I have 8 or 9, Lauren, but I love that you're speaking into being that I have 10. I think what I said to you when I was speaking it into existence is I will have 10 by the end of the night. So I will have 10. I'm just putting it out there for accountability reasons. So yes, last week, I'm going to just we committed to being authentic. And I think 2 weeks ago, I shared with you guys some challenges that I've had and just feelings. So I want to just walk you through what the week looked like leading up to it, and then some shifts, and then some things that I'm doing to change my state. So I talked to you about attraction. Say it again. So I talked to you guys about attraction statements before and how that sets everything up, and priming statements, our priming exercise with Tony Robbins. And I hope you guys have been doing that consistently. The first time it's awkward and uncomfortable. The breathing, let's just discuss. But what I'll say is that it sets us up in the right mindset. And with the attraction statements, but I will tell you that I don't care who you are in this business, comparison happens. I mean, Lauren is who I look to really bring me down, because I've struggled with that. That's an area where the devil works me hard, is comparing myself to others and looking at myself and thinking I'm not good enough. And that's a talk track that plays in my head, is just, I'm not good enough. And I don't care how great a person is. I look at the greatest people in the world and I think they have their own self-doubts. And so you look at the top people in this company, and I promise you, they've all been through that same thing. And so that's where my headspace was. And I'm on a bunch of accountability threads with some other leaders. And I was on a thread, and there were a couple people that were holding each other accountable, and they were putting in enrollments 5 and 6. And I put up a post, and for one of the first times in a long time that I can remember, when I tell you, do you know how many comments it had? 0. I've been in this for a long time. There's people that are on my team that would throw me a comment. 0 comments. 0. And it was a post that I had used the same post before, and it had been unbelievable. And I honestly looked at it, and you know what my talk track said is like, you're not good enough. You stink. And in the meantime, I'm looking at my friends on my accountability group, and they're putting in enrollments 5 and 6. And they're like, it was like what Lauren and I used to be, where one girl was like, I've got 5. And the other girl's like, I've got 5 too. And then the other girl's like, I've got 6. And the other girl's like, I've got 6 too. And I'm like, holy cow, they've got 6 enrollments on a Saturday. And I had 0 comments on a post that was like a cool post. Not one person even responded. I think Kim Momstrom, I think you threw me a like. You might have been, it was like lonely in the like category. But that's where my headspace was. And I think I posted and shared with you guys that I started reading this book. You are a badass at making money. And not only did I buy the physical copy of the book, I liked it so much that I downloaded it on Audible. So I got the Audible too. And I'm listening to this woman just talk about headspace and state and a vibration and attraction. And there were so many reasons where I was like, what the heck? But I got into this.
Hey, Jess, hang on one second. Eric and Wesley, can you guys mute? That's definitely you. Sorry, Jess. Thank you. You guys keep going.
All right. Yeah. So what I'll just say is that I got into this different headspace of saying, literally imagining the people that are flooding into the business. And there were some people in my business that were like being super negative. One person went to another company. I talked to Lauren about this and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm wallowing in this ugly head. Have you guys been in this ugly head? Have you been there? People don't want to show up when our energy is so ugly and repulsive. It's repelling people. I was in a repellent state. Guess what? Repellent state gets 0 comments. But I forced myself to say, people are flooding in. Flooding. This is going to be unbelievable. What's coming? I'm going to enroll 10 people before the end of this coming Sunday. I will have 10 people that we've helped get started. And I'm going to have team members that we've helped get 10 people. We're going to have people that have free hotel rooms. We're going to max out the number of hotel rooms. And that's the headspace that I started getting in, forcing that feeling, that energy, grounding in that. And what I feel like when I'm we talked about this once before, when I'm overwhelmed, I'm stuck. And when I get stuck, I don't do anything. I literally am I'm like cemented in. Nothing happens. And there's no more sure way to stay stuck than to literally root yourself in there and plant yourself. But when I got in this new headspace, I forced myself to take action. Because no matter what the problem is, I've always found that a little bit of activity is the solution. And so here's what I did. I went to my back office and I have a bunch of people who are red, terminated accounts. And I sent them a voice memo. And here's what I said to them. I said, Kisa, this is exciting, girlfriend. I just saw your name on a list of people who are eligible for a massive discount this week. I know you've used these products in the past, and I thought with summer coming, it might be an amazing time for you to jump back in and just reset yourself for summer. But I love seeing your name on that list. And hey, if it's not the right timing, cool, no problem. But I just wanted to let you know, you're one of the lucky ones, girlfriend. You're eligible. I saw your name on a list, and that was my voice memo. And I sent that to inactive people, right? And that felt great because somebody wrote me and goes, whoa, are you serious? I was on the list? Sweet, I need to jump back in. One enrollment in, an inactive person, getting them back in the business. Awesome. Then another person wrote me. Guess what? My energy starts shifting. Ding, another person writes. Ding, another person writes. I start following up. I start sending voice memos to people. I start looking through my messages to say, oh my gosh, that person was interested. And you know what? I got nervous about following up with them. I'm going to get back into that. I'm going to follow back up. And then when your energy shifts, people come. Have you ever noticed that? People start coming when your energy changes. Your inbox starts blowing up because you're surprised. Wait, 0 people liked my post. Think about that. 0 people on a Thursday. By Sunday, I had probably 7 people. I think there were 7 or 8 enrollments by Sunday. 0 people to 7 or 8. And they're great people. By the way, for this week lined up, so I had all these calls then with other people. And it was a bunch of people that were like, I want the value pack. And so here's the other thing that I started doing. I changed my energy to go, listen, here's my talk track of how so many people are coming on with value packs. I just said, here's the deal, Lauren. If you were my best friend, and some of these people, I don't even know them. I literally don't even know them. And some of these people, guys, I went against my best advice, and I typed this. It was written in text. But I said, Lauren, if you were my best friend since the 3rd grade, or you were my sister or my mom, here's what I would tell you. If you trust me enough, this is what I would tell you. I would say, take my advice and grab the value pack. You will be so glad you did. It works the fastest, Lauren. People report in this company it has the highest success rate, but it also has the most accelerated results. You're going to start feeling great so quickly. And I think this is the part where the value pack becomes a no-brainer. The value pack becomes a no-brainer because Isagenix will return things that you're not satisfied with a la carte. So let's say, Lauren, that you get to try these incredible complete essentials, but you say, hey, you know what? Not for me. I'm not feeling the electricity, the magic. They will refund your money just for that. And guess what? So don't be like Lauren, some of the people that have said to me, they've gotten the basic pack because they think, oh, I'm going to save a few dollars. And at the end of the day, they end up buying those extra products and spending more money and then coming back to me and going, why didn't you just force me to get the best pack? Why didn't you tell me that? I don't want you to be like those people, Lauren. And that's what I've said to people. And with integrity, guys, and you know, the complete essentials are awesome, but that's how we've done it. And then there's the other thing is, besides messaging the inactives, besides the follow-ups, besides shooting out a quick message, besides saying, hey, you had told me before that you were really interested and the timing wasn't right, I'm just checking if timing is better. But here's the other piece of this is that then it started to create this electricity across the team. I mean, everyone that's part of my team, I was just watching them do awesome things. I'm watching Melinda just have complete connection with her friends. I'm watching Chelsea I want to celebrate just Chelsea on my team, guys. There's just the energy that starts happening and how you feed off of each other. Chelsea had a week, her biggest week in Isagenix this past closing last night. And what she told me last night at 11:58 was, do you know that it would have taken me 6 in a salon, working in a salon, nights and weekends and hours on your feet, a very physically demanding job to make what I made this week in Isagenix. A week where she was having fun with her son, a week where she was in New York. And that's the energy. When you feel down about somebody returned, someone said, no, you don't have any enrollments in, you have 0 comments, think about things like that. A single mom who would have had to work 6 weeks. So if she started today, by the 3rd week in July, she would have earned what she made last week hanging out with her little boy, going to New York and hanging out with a friend. That's the kind of thing that we're in it for. And then my energy shifted to 0 people liked my post to, wow, what we're doing matters. It matters to families. It matters to people. And by the way, another single mom wrote me as I was like celebrating Chelsea, feeling grateful for knowing Chelsea. This other single mom that I thought was so awesome that I met once at a conference, haven't talked to in a very long time. Ding, Jessica, here's my information for a value pack. So there's number 8 or number 9. Like this is, what I'm trying to illustrate to you guys is you are going to get into a funk. I don't care if you're Lynn Hagedorn or Janny Elo or Lauren Sims. We go through ups and downs. And someone told me, like, we don't talk about the downs enough because you look at people and you go, dude, you compare, you feel down, you want to quit, you go under your desk and like put your hands over your eyes and just feel so like you suck. You feel that? Totally. Totally. The comparison crushes me. But here's the thing. I'm real enough to admit to you that you can shift that. And when you shift it, I'm living proof that it will change your business. So I wanted you guys to hear that. Those are the things that we're doing. If you're in a funk, if you're stuck, if you're overwhelmed, send one voice memo, do one birthday message. And then it starts being fun. It starts being fun again. Go through your inactives and print them out. Tell your team to do that same thing. Go through and look at your inactives and see, who can we restart? Your name was on a list. Post it in your product groups. Do you know, if you're in our product group and you haven't ordered in a while, you may be eligible for the discount. And so that's what this amazing extension. It's just such an awesome time to capitalize and get in momentum, because I don't want to pay for a room in Vegas. I don't know about you guys. But here's the other thing is, you understand the June and Boom. I think a lot of people just think it's like $200 in cash. It's not. It's to get our teams to celebration with no excuse. If you live on the East Coast like we do, flights aren't cheap. People going, it's a major commitment. But you can help them enroll 10 people. They get $200 towards their flight or $200 towards their spending money. They've got a free room, and They're going to be in a picture with Jim and Kathy cheesing like this. And how awesome is that? What an experience. You think that's going to change their business? You think seeing their team members there is going to change their business? Everybody there. 10 people. And now you look at the math of this. And if you watch the Eric Worre 20 enrollments in 30 days video, and you just divide that math in half of what you need to do. So if you think about it, if you think about the math, here we are. We've got a solid a little over 3 weeks to do this. You need 10 enrollments. So you get 3 this week, you'll get a 4th, because I know you will. Because you get 3 and you get in that energy. And I'd start now doing these things. Because when you feel that energy, it rolls like a snowball downhill. It just starts picking up more and more snow, more and more energy, more and more traction. And your vibration's pulling people way, way outside of your typical sphere. Start tonight and get off this call. I know on Monday nights I'm going to be up late because I get so fired up with the energy of this whole group, all the positivity, that I know I'm going to be up late. Start now. Start on the Monday. Let the energy just create momentum until we get to Sunday. If you have 4 this week, you've earned yourself the $200. You already got the spending money. If you have 4 this week, you can easily, you're going to be talking to a lot of people who are going to say, not this week, but next week. So you're going to create yourself a full pipeline for next week. Then you'll have 8, another 4 next week, then 8. Then you've earned a room. And then you've got really a little over a week to just say, I got 2 in me, because Jim and Kathy are going to need me. They're going to need me there for the picture. I don't want to miss that opportunity. There's not a lot of people. Here's what you need to hear. There are not a lot of people in this company that can enroll 10 people in the month of June. You are among a very small percentage. You're the 5% that can, without question, do it. You're among the very, very small percentage of people. And you have it inside you. Because here's what people say. I was just listening to this. I was listening to a podcast, and we've probably all heard this before. But what they were saying is, any goal seems daunting until I told you if you had a disease and I told you that you could have the cure only if you accomplish that goal. Would you figure it out? If something was wrong with my child and I said, if you enroll 10 people, we'll take it all away. Could I do it? If somebody said, you'll lose your house if you don't do it, could you do it? Yeah. And the other thing that we want to do is chunk our time down. So what I'll tell you is, don't stay up all night prospecting people. Give yourself an hour. Because if you know you have all night, or you know you have a very long amount of time, you're going to doodle around on Facebook, message people, pet your dog, get a drink. But if you know you only have an hour, you're going to cut to it. You're going to send out as much as you can. Chunk your time. I think that's something that I've really been focused on, and it's making me so much more productive to chunk my time that way. So those are the things that I had to say. Lauren, thank you so much for giving me that time. I'm dying to hear what you learned from Jason Liu. Grab my pen.
You're funny. You guys, if you're not paying attention to the chat, I've been trying to take some notes of Jessica's verbiage, and she has just such great ways of connecting and reaching out to people, and the things that she put in her product page and the things that she sent in that voice memo. So go through the chat, and if it's easier, just copy and paste it into your own notes and go back. I still am learning things from her, and I want to tell people, hey, you were on this list. You go from the naughtiness to the, get your products way cheaper list. So that's awesome. And hi, you guys, super, super fun. I'm like Jess, this call gets me really excited, and I am the same. I'm in accountability threads, and people that kind of check in and tell me things. And there's people like Lori and Kisa and, Jen Feister and Melanie that fire the heck out of me. And Melanie went from 2 enrollments. She is like, I have to get double pibs, to she's on a mission to get this hotel as fast as possible. Yesterday, she's like, I got my 4th, I got my 5th, I got my 6th. And I was like, I only have 2. I was all like, how, I don't want to get passed on my own team. And it's not about, winning or losing. It's just that competitive energy. And it's that, we can really help people in the same way that, Jess talked about Chelsea, how many hours or weeks that, she'd have to work in that salon. That drives me. When we think about, there's no way people could ever get to Vegas. There's people in their entire life will never go. We can show them how to go and how to go for free, like that ignites me. So when we were messaging earlier and, just kind of going through like the outline of tonight, and Jessica's like, we're doing Boom for June. We're getting them fired up, because I could tell she was fired up from her team. And, the more that we can do this together, the more people we're going to help, and the more people that are going to get their physical goals this summer, and we're going to get people their financial goals, and we're going to get people to see Tony Robbins, and it's going to be incredible. So for those of you that don't know, I just came back from the Bay Area, and I did a Super Saturday with Jason Liu and Rebecca Caffiero. Jason Liu is a Start Ambassador and part of Start 1000. Rebecca Caffiero is also Start 1000. She just enrolled McKinsey, who 6 months ago was nobody, and yet last night she hit 4-star Golden Circle. I mean, this team's in momentum, but I think it's really fun to learn from other people and grow from other people. And I said, I've got great notes from what they said, and because I talk fast and can give you the Reader's Digest version, what they trained on in 2 hours, I'm pretty confident I can give you the golden nuggets in 20 minutes. So the thing that Jason started talking about, and I'm literally, I'm just like going through like my notes of what he was saying and kind of overviewing. But the first thing he talked about, which I think is so freaking important, and we kind of move away from this, even though, Jess was touching on it with her headspace and where she was from 0 comments and 0 enrollments to, the first person that messaged her and then the second person, and how fast her meter of belief was changing, how fast her energy was, changing. And Jason Liu, talked about if you look at like children, like they're just filled with praise and love and recognition and encouragement. And there's very little doubt. There's very little naysay. There's very little like what you're not doing is happening. And as we're getting older and older and older, by the time we get to college, there's less recognition. There's less praise. There's less like, oh my gosh. And there's more like, you didn't do this right. This isn't available to you. This is getting harder. And at every single day, at every single start of our business and whatever, how important it is to just love ourselves and believe in ourselves before we try and believe in other people, and how important it is to praise ourselves and recognize ourselves, because if we can't do it, no one else is going to do it. And just how much that affects our business. And we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the fact that, in order to really go to work in Isagenix, you have to go to work on yourself. If you're going to lead people, if you're going to encourage people, if you're going to inspire people, if you're going to motivate people, how important it is that you are in integrity, you're authentic, you're joyful, you're grateful, you're excited, you're knowledgeable, whatever it may be. So I kind of wanted to just share that with you, because it's very easy for a lot of us to lose sight of that. And with that, also how much we're recognizing other people. There isn't a single person that doesn't like recognition. I don't care who you are. I don't care how modest you are. There is not one person out there that doesn't feel good when they are recognized for their efforts. Whatever it is, if someone makes you dinner, if someone gives you a ride home, if someone, blows up their business, if someone gave you a compliment, I mean, there is not a single person. So remember to pour into others, because that is something that gets people excited, makes them work harder, gravitates and draws in people into your business. So who in here has read GoPro and listened to Eric Worre ever? There are some of you that have not, and it's okay if you haven't. If not, that's part of your homework this week. But we're going to give you some Eric Worre homework. But he talks about this analogy of an airplane. And to get this airplane off the runway, the momentum that you need. Once you've generated enough inertia and enough power and enough energy and enough momentum, it will go. It will get off the runway. And it's much easier to coast in cruise control, right? Once it's off the runway. But getting off the runway is sometimes the hardest part. And Jason Liu basically said, the average is 2 out of 10 enrollments. What if we could increase the close to 6 out of 10? What if we could get that inertia, that momentum, that energy quicker to get that plane off the highway, that you're in this space that Jess is saying, that it's just coming in, you're in the flow, it's happening with ease. And the first thing he did is just paint this picture. So here's the numbers, you guys. This is realistic. And David Wood talks about this. Eric Worre talks about this. But if you were to have, let's just say 100 to 200 conversations, that was the amount of conversations you had to have to get this plane going, right? 60 to 80 are going to take a look. So of all those messages, hey, I see you on Facebook. I know you're into health and fitness. I thought about you. You might be awesome for this. If I were to send you something, would you take a quick look, right? You meet someone at the gym. Man, you crush it at the gym. What is it that you're doing for your nutrition? You see someone at the park. Oh my gosh, you're drinking Gatorade. Have you ever considered another type of electrolyte drink or, whatever it may be? 100 to 200 conversations Of that, 60 to 80 are going to take a look. Just say, sure, I'll take a look. They'll watch the video. They'll see a presentation. They'll come to a launch party. They'll do whatever. Then 10 to 20% will probably do that. So of that 60 to 80, right, 10 to 20%, like we're looking at 10 or 20 are going to do it, right? Of the ones that take a look, 10 or 20 are going to say yes. They're actually going to sign up. And of that, a few of them are going to be great partners. 2 to 3 are going to be great business partners. So if Jessica talks to 100 people, 60 say they're going to take a look, right? 20 enroll, 3 go manager and above, 3 go director and above. So part of it is just making our expectations real, right? When people tell me all the time, Lauren, I'm going for double pips this week. I'm like, who are the 4 to 5 people you're talking to a day? You've got to talk to 15 to 20 people if you're getting double pips. You know, they're like, oh, the one girl at work didn't call me back. I'm like, the one girl. You know, like you have to kind of keep these conversations up in the forefront of your mind. So in order to get this launch going, in order to kind of get this momentum going, you broke it down in a few different areas that I hope to reiterate to you in, you know, the best way possible. So the first thing he kind of talked about was buyers are not created. And I loved this. He was talking about that you're looking for people who are already set up to be interested in isogenics. For example, they've already made a decision that they believe in some type of cleansing. They've made a decision that they're healthy. They've made a decision that they are someone who is a fan of supplementation. And what we're trying to do is get them to maybe, instead of using this product, to isogenics. Instead of just eating clean and counting calories and working out, to take a nutritional cleansing and fat burning system, to maybe take their pre and post workout into this. So he went over this whole overview of that, you know, the buyers aren't created and that we're trying to blend our products with people that are ready to buy. So looking for people who are already interested in health and wellness. It doesn't mean don't talk to people that aren't using supplements. He's not saying don't talk to people that are not into, you know, supplementation already. He's saying that that close rate, right, of 1 out of 10, that we could get closer to 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, if you are selecting your prospect a little bit more carefully. So for example, you know, when I go to Google and I type in, for example, because I just did this for top achievers, white or gold shoes with white dress, right? I just typed this in. So instantly, I went back to Facebook and guess what showed up in my ads? This was in like 30 seconds. Guess what was showing up in the ads? White and gold shoes. 4 different places where I can buy white and gold shoes. Like that, they go, this girl's on the market. This girl's on the, you know, she's interested in shopping. They know I'm ready. So people are capitalizing into that. Last week, I really want a cruiser, you guys. I want a pink cruiser. So I've been like looking on eBay, looking on Amazon, looking at Craigslist, like for pink cruiser for like 2 weeks now. Pink cruisers are popping up all over the place because the market research knows I'm in the hunt for a pink cruiser. So his suggestion was, we know those people out there ready to buy. How quicker, so we know with June, we've got about 3.5 weeks left, you know, with this promotion, 4 weeks, how much quicker can we get to the close if we clue in to people who are all ready to buy? It doesn't mean don't talk to other people, right? It's just that we're going to increase that conversion rate if we focus on people who are already motivated. Does that make sense a little bit? Give me a little nod. Okay. So then he kind of was talking about when you're talking to people that want to buy, how little it has to do with us. And when you're having a conversation, when you are connecting with someone, you know, through Facebook, on the phone, in person, whatever it may be, that we are forward speaking their results. We are definitively describing all of their senses in a forward tense of what they're receiving. That we're not talking about cost necessarily. We're not talking about information of ingredients. We're not talking about every single pack, right? Every single product. But we're talking in speaking that as a result of doing this, in describing 30 days from now, 45 days from now, how they're going to feel, how they're going to look, what are they going to experience? You know, what is the praise from other people going to be like? Like as much as you can include the senses that it was becoming real. And I thought it was really, really, really powerful when he talked about everybody is looking for a solution. Everybody. Whether they're looking for a physical or financial solution, if they're looking for energy, they're looking for sleep, they're looking for weight loss, they're looking for optimal nutrition, they're looking for a cleanse, they're looking for convenience, they're looking for more money. Everybody. But how can we, in the conversation, not talk about our experience, not talk about cost, not talk about company statistics, not talk about the ins and the outs, but talk to someone that I'm going, Jessica, this system is going to change your life. When you show up at that 4th of July party and your abs are as toned as your shoulders, the skinny jeans you love are already too big on you, the whole party is complimenting you on how amazing you look and how to get the glutes and hamstrings that you have, why you're not yawning and drinking coffee and eating cupcakes at 2 o'clock like every other mom at the shore out there. You are going to say, thank you, Lauren, for getting me started today, right? Like you've got to be able to cast this vision and include all the senses on where they're going to be. And those people are buying their results. They're not buying you. They're not buying the pack. They are buying the person they have yet to become because you have so thoroughly painted that picture of what it will be like for them. So then he went on to describe things that we know, but I thought that this was a really cool way of talking about it, that the beauty is in building relationships. And that sometimes when we say, Isogenics is not ready for you right now, when someone says no, that when you walk into a room, instead of thinking, okay, so I'm a part of, a networking group or something, I'm going to go in there and 10 of the 200 people are going to buy Isogenics if I give out my business card to get all their business card, right? It was switching a mentality that 60% of the room at some point is going to purchase if you build the relationship, right? If there is something more than a yes or no at that time. And he talks about the amount of clicks to close. He talked about what he called a breadcrumb trail. So for example, he was saying like a realtor, if they went in to a room of people that are interested in buying property, and let's say a room full of 100 people went to a seminar because they want to know more about buying property. They want to know more about becoming a home buyer. Not all 100 people are going to buy a home right then. They're all not going to go, okay, sign on the dot, here's my mortgage right then. But 60% of those people in the next near future will, if you continue to educate and you continue to build trust. So there's this importance of follow-up and there's the importance of building that relationship. And so I think a lot of times we've gone to an event or we've had a tasting party, we're focusing on those that said yes. And the ones that said not now, what is your breadcrumb trail? What are the ways that you're building trust, that you're building this relationship until you get the final click to close, which doesn't necessarily mean, hey, are you ready? A week later, hey, are you ready now? Hey, are you ready now? Hey, are you ready now? But it's saying things like, Jen, how's it going? I haven't seen you since that seminar, but I just saw the most gorgeous picture of your daughter at the dance recital. How long has she been in dance? She looked amazing, right? It's having a conversation. It's saying things to Laura like, holy cow, I can't believe you just bought this sweet ass Acura. That's a gorgeous car. What happened to your other car? It's about building the relationship. It's about, knowing people and talking to them and following up and, saying to Kisa, oh my gosh, your daughter is going to be in high school. What are you guys going to do all summer? What is she going to do before high school? What are the final things you guys going to do as a kid before she's all a teenager and stuff, right? Getting to know her. That 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, when she's like, okay, I'm ready to sign the deal and close, there's only one person they think of. And it's the person they know, the person they trust, the person that's been genuine from the first presentation until they collect enough breadcrumbs to say yes. And if you stay in touch with those people, the amount of conversations that you're having that are leading to the close will increase. That number, instead of being 2 out of 10, will shift to 6 out of 10 if you're doing these things. So then there was a script that he had that it's a combination of his genius and also Eric Worre's, where I'm in a hurry, you compliment in the if I would you. But if you want a bullet point in your notes, these 6 words, so vertical bullets: time, affirm, before, as a result, information, and which works. So these 6 bullets are your guideline to the script, which I'll go through and put it all together. So again, it's time, affirm, before, as a result, information, and which works. So let me put this together. Jessica, oh my gosh, I'm in such a hurry right now. I've got to get to yoga, but you're amazing. You're like the super mom of the world, and somehow you stay incredibly fit in the pockets of your time while you're raising all of these kids. I thought about you because before I was introduced to this, I was living on an IV of coffee, yawning every single day, not getting any single results in the gym. And as a result, I'm working out less, I'm sleeping more, I look better, and I literally cannot stop thinking about you. I'm thinking if Jess had this nutrition, her results are going to be magnetized, right? I literally can't stop thinking about you of how much ease this is going to bring to your life. This may or may not be for you, but if you were willing to take a peek, I would love to share something with you. And when she says yes, the last part, the which works, is offered 2 times. I'd love to follow up with you. Does later tonight or tomorrow morning work better? So I'm going to put it together to you guys one more time so you can see how this works, right? Laura, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got you. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm like, got to make dinner. I've got 3 friends coming over. But you are one of the kindest people I know. I know how much you love to help other people. You are the yes girl, and you are constantly blessing so many lives. Before, I was introduced to this amazing opportunity, I felt like I was so constrained with my time. I really didn't have time to do more. And as a result of saying yes to this and changing my life and so many other people's lives, I'd literally have more freedom. I just was, nominated to be a big sister because of the free time that I have. And I was just thinking, man, if Laura could run with this opportunity, if Laura could do this, she would even have that much more time to give back. She would have that much more time to be a classroom mom and at her son's lacrosse games and all these things. If I were to introduce you to something, if I could just show you something that may or may not be for you, would you be willing to take a look? You guys, that script is not hard. And you can do this in voice memo. You can do it on the phone. But I was telling a girl who was at the event that I had enrolled over 100 people in my first few months. And she was like, what? How did you do that? And I said, burning desire. And I told everybody in my phone. And Janny's on this call. She can tell you the day I did it. But instead of going through my A's and going, that person's too poor, that person's too rich, that person will hate me, that person will never do this, that person already does this, I can actually call that person, right? Instead of telling myself why 20 people weren't good enough and deciding I would call one, I called everybody. I said, what's the worst that could happen? They're going to say no. I literally talked about this at Super Saturday because there were people even in my phone, I didn't know how they were on my phone. And I was like, hi, I don't know how I know you, but I was introduced to this amazing thing. And I'm telling everybody I know. You guys, I literally had people dying at Super Saturday because I was once upon a time on Match.com, and I had people on my phone from Match.com that I'd forgotten about, and they were like, you don't remember me? And I was like, oh, want to buy a 30-day system? But when you really want to do this and you use this script, like Jessica said, print off your Facebook list. And the only people that go off the list are the people already on Isogenics. That's it. Use the script. You want to enroll 10 people this month? Look at your Facebook. If you've got 2,000 friends, guess what? You got way more people than you need. We're telling you to have a list of 100 to get the 10 enrollments. So stop judging, right? Stop taking out who doesn't want this. Stop telling yourself who's on your chicken list, who won't do it, who's too rich, who's too poor, who's too fat, who's too fit, and just tell them and use this. So the time, which is your time, the affirmation is them, how you felt before, as a result, how you're feeling, and saying this may or may not be for you, but would you take a look? And then knowing what tool, what video, what link that you are sending them. And then, like a professional, creating the appointment with the which works time. So as part of the homework, we're going to make sure that you, number one, have read or listened to GoPro if you've never done it, that you are listening if you've never done it, watching Eric Worre's 20 enrollments in 30 days because that works. And then the third is to make sure at a minimum you use this script with 10 people, 2 people for the next 5 days, minimum 10 scripted calls, right, or voice memos. And so collectively, he was putting that together to really it just increase the closing rate. The better that you do this, the more you do it, the more skilled you become, that will change. But anybody can improve their close rate. So if Jess is like, okay, I'm already a 5 out of 10, 50% do it. Well, guess what? Her close rate will go to 75%. And the last little bit that I want to touch on that I thought was awesome from Rebecca's training is she was like, how do you find their solution? And this had to do with how she's selling which packs. And it was a 4-point criteria, which I thought was brilliant. And this was the biggest takeaway I wanted to share with you guys. Number 1 was she asks people, what are you looking to improve? And she gives suggestions. So when she's talking to them, what are you looking to improve in your life? Your financial situation, your sleep, your energy, your weight, your cravings, your muscle tone, where would you like to feel better? And asking the question and suggesting areas in all of our solution categories. We're not a weight loss company. And from the jump, thinking about how she's increasing basket order, getting the data, getting the information from them on what they're looking to improve. Then she's asking questions, this is number 2, on what's their lifestyle. Well, talk me through your lifestyle. Like, how much time are you spending making breakfast in the morning? How much time are you spending out to eat? How much are you spending on your meals and out to eat? Do you have any dietary preferences, any allergies, any sensitivities, things that are important to you? Are you taking vitamins right now? Or she asks certain questions like, do you wake up energized or do you wake up sluggish? How do you specifically feel around 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Like, she's getting to people's pain points. If you were to ask 10 people, random people, not on Isogenics, how do you feel around 2 o'clock in the afternoon? What percentage of people are going to be like, I feel awesome. I feel amazing. Like, the whole world is like, oh, I feel like death. I need sugar, a nap, or caffeine. That's how people feel, especially moms. So, I just loved it because I tell people things like, walk me through a typical day. What do you do for breakfast? What do you do for lunch? What do you do for dinner? I don't ask people if they wake up energized or tired. I don't ask people how much time do you spend making breakfast in the morning. And as soon as she said that, I was like, that's a really good question because your time is money. And if people are cooking breakfast in the morning and that's time they could be with their kids, that's time they could be at the gym longer, that's time that they could be sleeping longer, and saying, well, what if the 30 minutes it takes you to make breakfast, if you could be out the door in 30 seconds, would that be a value to you? The dietary recommendations, imagine if someone's already telling you, oh, I have to be gluten-free, I have to be soy-free, I have to be dairy-free. Oh, awesome, this is going to be perfect for you because we meet all those things. And then, when she was talking about the recommendations, she was really sharing transparently what she's kind of doing in the conversation where this is fitting into her lifestyle. So outside of the systems, she was, saying things like, not only did I do the 30-day, fat burning and cleansing reset program when I got started, but I kind of wanted to replace some of my bad habits with better solutions up front so I'd be successful. So I know that I'm a salty person. I know that I crave kind of crunchy things. So I knew if I wasn't going to eat Cheetos when I got home from work, I had to have a replacement. So I added on, our white cheddar whey thins so I would have an option. I wanted to set myself up for success. I didn't want to invest all this money and fail. And I knew the shakes would work. I knew I could cleanse, but I knew I got to have a salty, crunchy alternative or I'm going to end up eating Cheetos. It's a very transparent thing. So I don't really relate to that. I'm not a salty, crunchy person, but I'm a sweet thing. And I was thinking I could use that. I could be like, you know what? Even though I was going to do the shakes and everything, I know that I have a sweet tooth. I know that I want something sweet, that I ordered an extra box of Delights because I wanted to have an option as an alternative at night that wasn't going to sabotage my success. I wanted to have more than just my cleanse days. I wanted to have a couple different flavors so that I didn't always want sea salt caramel. I wanted, dark chocolate mint so that I had options that I was going to be successful. And then, she really just at the end was talking about building value. Again, kind of reiterating what Jason was saying about what this is doing. The value is the investment in your health. The value is the results. The value is the team, the culture, things that are way more than just the price per shake, the price per bar. And I just think that when you're on the phone with someone and that value of how important it is to them. Why are they wanting to do this? What's their goal? Like getting to that why. The success rate of them saying yes and the success rate of them completing the program with ease, with dramatic results, is going to be accelerated for all of us. And so I know that some of this may not be new information for you, but I think that when you take top runners in the company and they're putting very simple tips out there that have proven to be successful, and I was getting aha moments. I was like, I have got to share this. Like, I wish I had been on Facebook Live in my group the whole time they were talking. I was like, I got to give these golden nuggets back. And so just kind of think that when you're on the phone with someone, I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in wanting to close, or we get so wrapped up in what objections they might have, we lose the conversation of just being human. If I was going to send Laura out to my favorite restaurant right now in Cherry Creek, right? Solt's, this brand new Mexican restaurant. I wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, go. It's not bad. It's probably like $20 a person. They've got good margaritas. Like, you'll love it, right? Why would she go? Like, there's probably a lot of Mexican restaurants for $10 or $20. So I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, this place is amazing. They've got this crazy Mexican corn that comes on the husk, and they shave it in front of the table, and they mix in this adobe sauce, and it's like your salsa for the whole meal, and they make the homemade corn masa right at the table. Like, it's a whole experience, and there's fire pits, and you're not going to get anything like it in Denver, right? Like, you guys see how much more exciting that is. But on the phone, like, you're talking about it, like, hey, I know you're buying this 30-day system, but do you crave sweets or salty? Because I've got to make sure I've got the add-ons that you're successful. Like, what, where are your vices right now? Let's plan ahead for that. Are you a coffee drinker? Awesome. I was like, one of the hardest things for me was to give up coffee. But if we could replace it with this organic coffee instead of Starbucks, synthetic chemical shitstorm or whatever, is this something that, maybe we could think about reallocating to get you the best results? How fast can we alkalize your body? So just being really relatable and asking those questions and making those recommendations in a story fashion of what you're already doing. This is why I think Tanya and Trudy are so successful. For those of you that don't know, Trudy Maples and Tanya Kirkpatrick, because they use all the products and they're teaching their teams, they're teaching their enrollments how to reallocate the skincare stuff they're using, the snacking options that they're using, the stuff they're giving their kids, their husbands. And that's why their basket orders are so high, because they make those recommendations and they spend the time on that first call getting to their lifestyle and really setting some people up. So I hope that you guys are, getting some things from this. I hope you are getting some golden nuggets and new things to try this week to, kind of increase your, click to close rate. And Laura, I just saw the one question about how do you print your Facebook list. Ask Chris Marshall. Jessica can tell you too. I know that there's a way where you can download it into a spreadsheet, but I literally just opened up my friend's, Jessica unmuted, she'll tell you, but I literally just scrolled through the images and pushed print, and it was 30 pages. But I personally have to see their face. Just seeing their name doesn't do enough for me. So when I download it into the spreadsheet, I would be like, who's Garrett and Warren? I don't know who this person is. That I wasted the paper because I wanted to see the icons of all their faces, because I have to see Waylon's icon or, Catherine's icon or whoever, for them to be like, oh yeah, that's who that is, before I reach out. But Jess, if you want to chime in on that, and then Janny close us up, that's all I got tonight.
I did the same way. There's probably a better way to do it, but I did the exact same thing as Lauren. I had to keep scrolling till I got to the end of my friends, and then I hit print, and that printed them all out. And it wasted a lot of paper, but I have to say it was good because you could really take notes on them, and I just flipped them. The one thing I want to also say, guys, is that, I've always said to the team, since I discovered birthday messages, I always said that that's just a great way to get yourself into a good state, because you're speaking love into people. You're not going in with any agenda other than to brighten their day. And so if you're feeling like that, just do a birthday message. And then the other thing that I want to say on the flip side of that is, what I'm seeing across our team is that the welcome connection. Remember when we used to want to do a 3-way call, and it's tough to get people on the phone, and a lot of people thought 3-way calls are weird. And I still do 3-way calls. What I'm finding, and I did a bunch of them I've been doing so many of them, and I've been doing them and I've been telling other people to do them also, is a welcome connection Facebook message. So I'd send a message to Alex and to Catherine, and I'd say, Alex, I'm so glad that you've gotten started. I wanted to also introduce you to Catherine, this incredible person on the team. I think you'll relate so much to her story. She's already experienced the success that I know that you'll have as well. And I just wanted to connect you, and so you could really just know that there are so many people rooting for your success on the team. And guys, here's what I'm finding that it does. Doesn't it feel good to be part of a culture like that welcomes you in and considers you personally? And Lauren was saying, everyone loves recognition. That's a small recognition. It's an easy way. It's also a third party. I also see how it is increasing our retention rate, because here's the thing. You might be okay returning and like just being like, hey, it wasn't for me, but another person told you it was awesome. So you had another person that spoke to you and said, Alex, it's awesome. You're going to love it. And another person's cheering for you. So you don't really want to let them, it's our human nature. We don't want to let people down. And I think that is going to make a huge difference for everyone's business, is just bringing people in that way, letting them hear the voice. And some people will do it on text message. And I tell them, like, don't do it on text message, because A, some people you can't send a voice memo to. And B, think about what Facebook is like. If I'm sending someone and I'm introducing them to Kim, how cool is it? They can then look at Kim's profile and see like what Kim's about and why I think that they would relate so much to Kim. So that's just one thing that I'm finding really working. And I just, as Lauren just gave this awesomeness that I just love so much of these tips. I just love it. And I like the thought, Lauren, of imagining that 60% of the room is going to eventually enroll with me. That is just a cool thought. Imagine if when you print out your Facebook friends list, 60% of these people are going to enroll with me. Probably more. 60%. Pretty awesome. All right. Thanks, Lauren. Janny.
Yes, you guys. Oh my gosh, so many amazing tips and tricks and ways to just be able to push yourself forward. And I really love, I love that script at the very end, that, how to find solutions and what are you looking to improve? What's your lifestyle? And then building into the investment for yourself. I think that if you guys didn't write that down, we'll make sure to put that in the chat, or we'll put it into the Facebook group, because I think that's an amazing way to kind of go through that with people and to really paint that picture. Because I remember when Cindy first enrolled me, and she painted that picture of what it was going to be like in 30 days. Janny, imagine when you walk into your closet and you're not locked out of 3/4 of your closet. When you take that 10 or 12 pounds off, imagine how much more blissful your entire world is going to be, because we all know that when we can't fit into our clothes, nobody's a happy camper. And she just painted that for me, and I held that picture in my mind. So I think being able to forward speak and to hold those pictures in a, be able to paint that picture for people of what it's going to look like, it's going to be amazing. I was in Scottsdale doing yoga with Erica last week, and there was the neatest yoga instructor. Her name is Penny, and we just connected with her. I love her vibe. I love the way she interacts with people. She's just so grounded. She's just this ethereal, amazing person. And she was talking to me about being tired all the time. And so I just really started asking her more questions. And the more that I heard, the more that it sounded like my life. And I just said, you need to check out what Erica and I are a part of. I said, you need to check out. And I said, imagine if your energy, and I used the word imagine. I said, imagine if your energy was amazing all the way through the end of the day, and you weren't having to pump do an IV full of coffee and Red Bull to kind of get yourself through the day. And then imagine if you were actually sleeping through the night and you didn't have to be drinking wine every night to go to sleep. And then I just painted that picture, and I said to her with such conviction, I said, these products are going to rock your world. They're going to change your life, and you will thank me for it. And she just kind of looked at me like, okay, do I believe her? Because she didn't know me very well. And she just said, and now she's just been hounding me. She said, I said, I'm going to send Erica with some product. She said, great, but I really want to talk to you. Because I said, I've got so many people. I really got to the bottom of it. She said, I've got adrenal fatigue. I've got a major adrenal fatigue. And she said, I just need my mojo back. And I said, I've got a team full of girls that I've helped with this exact same thing, and I'll be able to help you as well. So it's really just, that relatable part, painting that picture for people, and then really, really caring, because I care that she will have a vibrant, amazing life. I mean, that means something to me. And I remember talking to people when I first starting them out, and I would just say to them, it means everything to me that you get a really good result, because it did. I mean, when people are going to invest that money, I'm going to invest my time in them and make sure I get them off to a really great start, and that they get a really good result. That's important to me. So anyway, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, is just being able to paint that picture, paint the vision, and then really care deeply. But also I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, I had recently watched an Eric Worre quick little short video about just going through doorways. And he talks about how so many people, and I have the same thing, they come up to him or come up to me, and they just say, hey, I sign people up, and they just don't do anything. They just sit there. And those people are expecting their, new customers to get to work and become superstars, but instead they aren't doing anything. And so, I mean, I'd have to say, okay, that's really, really common. So, here's the concept that I want you guys to get into your minds, that the millionaires in Isagenix look at new customers completely different than the brand new people who are just coming in and who are clueless. The new people will sign somebody up and they'll wait. Whereas the millionaires and the people who've really, learned the profession of network marketing, they view that new customer as a doorway to other people, not as a destination. So in other words, professionals are not expecting their new customers to do amazing things. They're not putting all their hopes and dreams in that one person, that they're going to be the next Jerry Maguire that comes into your business and just blows out one of your legs. That they're not looking at that. Now, they might hope for it, but it would be great if they did, but they don't leave that to chance. So the people that are professionals view that person as a doorway to get a whole new world of prospects. And I always say one person opens up their entire Rolodex. When that one person, you end up having access to that entire Rolodex. So partly your job is to motivate, but mostly you have to introduce, what I want you to do is just introduce your world to me, because you're a doorway for me to connect to a whole new world of prospects. And I can actually be more effective with your friends because I'm a third party instead of first party. So I'm going to ask you, who can you introduce me to today? Who can we set up and have a meeting with, like the three of us today? Who can we go talk to? Let's make a list and then figure out how we can go back and talk to those people. Because if you're frustrated and you're running out of prospects, all you have to do is grab and enroll one person. And then all of a sudden you have hundreds of prospects. So your job is to treat your new customers as a doorway through which you can search, dig, find those new people to come, into your business, and then they become a doorway also. And then you just keep digging and digging and digging, and all of those new doorways open. Like top professionals in our profession will sponsor one person that's a doorway, and that opens up a whole new group of people. Then they'll go down and they'll work with those people, which open up another whole group of people. And they'll keep digging further down the line until they find that one rock star, that one person who will really go to work. And so I feel like that's what the top earners in Isagenix, that's the secret to their success. They keep digging and digging until they find a rock star. Because most top earners don't personally enroll the rock stars in their business, but they have rock stars in their organization because they've reached through doorway after doorway until they've reached that destination. They found the star that will anchor that team for them, and then they can move on and go work on another part of their business. So you guys, if you can just kind of reframe your thinking that your new customers that you're bringing in are not your destination, but they're actually the doorway. And I could say that about Lauren, and I could say it about Jessica, that when I first started working with Lauren, when I first started working with Jessica, they were doorways to, because I knew they had a lot of influence. I knew that they knew a ton of people. And so I was constantly saying, you know, let's get this person on the phone. Let's get that person on the phone, because I wanted to get in front of them to be able to cast that vision, to be able to get excited about them, to get to actually know their team and know the people that they were working with. It meant a lot to me because I wanted to see those girls successful. So we're really just looking to, and it's called just driving the line. So you're just looking for people. You're open, that they will open up their world to you, their Rolodex to you, and then you're going to reach down and down and down and work with those people. So Lauren, do you want to go ahead and close us out?
Yeah, I think let's leave it with that. You guys drive the line. And I think the biggest takeaway that I heard tonight was that when you're enrolling new people, they're not the destination, they're the doorway to of someone's entire Rolodex. And how cool is that? And then if that Rolodex, you get a 60% close rate into your business. I mean, that's what we call momentum. So you guys have an amazing week 3. We'll post the homework. I'll get this recording up. And thanks for your time tonight. And happy June. We'll see you in a week. Bye, guys. Good night.